Kris Boyd's had enough. Alex Ray's had enough. Everyone with blue tinted specs has had enough.
Celtic just can't get enough.
I should have said that. I probably would have been the intro, but I'm not in the mood for intros. I'm not in the mood. Rangers.
I just can't get enough.
Right. I remember I titled my match review when Catich and Kent beat Celtic 2-1 5 years ago, near enough. I titled it Just Can't Get Enough. Take me back to that. What happened?
Well, you've had enough now, and so's Kris Boyd. Feel sorry for Kris Boyd. Seeing him there, he really does look dejected. You know when he's refusing a hug for his good old friend Chris Sutton that things have crossed the line, things have went too far.
Aye, they've crossed the line. Alex Ray's not happy. He's morphing into some form of xenomorph or something there. Kris Boyd's depressed. Neil McCann spitting facts though.
There was more hunger in their game to bite into challenges, and most importantly, they had more quality, and that's the big thing that Rangers can't recover.
More hunger's a pretty big statement, though, isn't it? I mean,
Sutton says that's a big statement from Neil McCann to say that the Celtic players have more hunger, but how can you disagree with it? I mean, you've seen Kyogo, right? Celtic lost the ball, I believe it was in the second half, and he ran 60 yards the opposite direction and tackled Cyril Dessers. I get it, every player's different, but you don't even see that from the players in the Rangers team that are supposed to do it, let alone the striker. They do. Celtic have way more hunger, man. It's there for all to see.
I think Chris Sutton's playing it. See when he comes out the cut, I think he's just trying to get more reaction.
No, he is.
Sutton, instead of going, aye, Neil, you're spot on there, I agree with you.
He can't even agree with the Rangers, man. It's got to be...
He's almost trying to disagree with him just to try and get a further reaction from Neil McCann. It's like Sutton realises that all these Rangers pundits, they're close to going into meltdown mode, and he's trying to extract whatever he can out of them. Like, Sutton could just turn around and go, no, completely agree with you, Neil. Celtic show more hunger. But he's saying, that's a big statement, I'm not sure you can say that, in the hope that Neil McCann latches on and bites.
Aye, and then takes the bait. You know, hook, line and sinker.
I mean, Sutton's all, I've caught on to the guy, like.
Yeah, no, we've all caught on to the guy, you know, he always comes up smelling the roses. If he fell in the Clyde, he'd come out with a salmon in his mouth. Would be the still game expression, but what would Kris Boyd come out of the Clyde with? A dirty trolley or something? Needles? I don't know, I mean... Could he come out with some money for Rangers to spend in January? What is it? I just don't understand what's... But you're right. It's for all there to see, man. See Rangers? They had hunger for 12 minutes. But then they went on a hunger strike after that because I don't know what happened, man. Well, I do know what happened. They bottled it, but it's disgusting. Celtic give it their all, man. You see it. It's there for all to see. Chris Sutton then passed the mic to Kris Boyd and he asked him, does Clement have to go?
And there is an enormous gulf, so we can sit here or stand here and talk about the merits of the match and how far Celtic are ahead of Rangers. But is there going to be that faith, Chris, in Philip?
I don't know. I don't know, Chris. I mean, look.
And Kris Boyd's answer was, I don't know. Kris Boyd was obviously distraught, doesn't know where his head is at, really, and to be honest, Rangers don't know where their head's at. I mean, I think there's serious questions around Clement. I mean, as you say, right, Beale was banter, right, and all that stuff, but Beale has a better record against Celtic and he's a better record overall.
No, he has better record against Celtic, better win percentage as Rangers manager than Clement. Just better.
You know, I get it. Tynecastle, Parkhead, you know, it's tough, right? But the only games Rangers have won this season are at Hampden.
See, you think about it though, what did Beale really do that was massively, apart from the horrible start to the season, and it was horrible, but he didn't have a horrible end like Clement did last year.
No, he didn't.
He didn't bottle nothing.
No.
He was just up against a better Celtic team. See if Beale was up against the Celtic of last year, Beale would have won the title 100%.
You could argue he was up against that. No.
Nah, he wasn't, man. He was up against Ange Postecoglou.
He was up against Rodgers till he got sacked, alright? Let's not rewrite history. He got beat. And Rodgers sent him packing with a Gucci belt.
No, I'm on about when he first came in. Aye.
Yeah, but that's manager bounce. No, they're both ranked.
Manager bounce. They matched every Celtic result, then beat them 3-0. He closed the gap. I was a big fan of Ange Postecoglou, but...
You a big fan of Brendan?
No, not really, but I mean, the numbers don't lie. Michael Beale came in.
Who will you be supporting on December 12th, Spurs or Rangers, when Big Ange comes back to town?
Well, I've got to support the Scottish team, obviously.
No, I tell you what, look how bad Rangers were tonight.
Play like that against Ange's Spurs, man. It could be
I don't even want to think about it. I'm glad they're not half Harry Kane anymore. But I mean, right, I'm going to ask you, yes or no? Should they sack Clement?
I mean, it's not that I think this result is necessarily the sack worthy result, but the question I would ask is, if you don't sack him and you give him more time, are things going to get better? And I don't see the answer to that being yes. I was like, I don't think that he necessarily deserves to be sacked. I'm just being honest. Do I see him turning it around? No.
What I would say is, right, it's almost like, you know what, give him to the next Old Firm, and if he doesn't win it, sack him. But then
if Rangers are like 10, 11 points behind, then...
that is the problem, and I think we've just got to look at it.
So the gap's 5 points. Let's say you don't sack Clement. Let's say he makes it. You don't sack him. He's still Rangers manager after international break. Do you sack him the next time Rangers drop points and Celtic continue to win? When it gets to 7? Or when it gets to 7, do you go, right, if you drop points again before Celtic, you're done? Like, where do you draw the line? I believe Michael Beale, he fell 7 behind after that defeat against Aberdeen, and that was him done. Rangers cut ties.
You know what? It's a rebuild, right? And all that.
Clement's not far away for 7.
No.
He is 1 draw away from being 7 points behind.
There's been a big turnaround in players, right? Not enough, in my opinion. Not enough brought in or out. But I mean, I'm leaning towards sacking him. I think he looks clueless. I think he looks out of his depth. I truly think that.
And honestly, man, that's strange to say because Rangers were title favourites last year. I don't care what anyone says, right? Celtic fans can love it and they can pretend that, Rangers are shite and they had it. Celtic were on the ropes last year. The Celtic fans were going mental, right? They were not happy with Rodgers. The bookmakers had Rangers everyone had Rangers as title favourites. They had a lead over Celtic at one point when Motherwell were beating Celtic. The gap was extended. Rangers were playing good stuff last year and looked like they were. And can't really pinpoint the one result where it went wrong for them. But I mean, since then,
I can 2-1 against Motherwell at Ibrox.
Is that it?
I was there. I think that was the mentality. That Rangers had the ability to go 5 points clear that weekend because Celtic got beat by Hearts. But it's no good. What we said in the review, right, and what we'll say in the ratings and what we'll say for the next 2 weeks, because it's going to be a long 2 weeks, folks, it just comes down to mentality. It's like, I think they just had a manager bounce, and then once they got into pole position where they should have won the league, I say should have won the league, maybe that's a wee bit too extreme, but they were favourites at the end of the day. They bottled it, and they just don't have the mentality. And it's a joke, man. Cal McGregor, Kasper Schmeichel, how many players were in their slippers after the 12th minute of the day, man?
You know what, I'm going to disagree. I think when you're taking on Motherwell with a chance to go 5 points in front of Celtic towards the end of the season, I think you should be winning the league.
No.
A Celtic team that weren't firing on all cylinders.
No, I'm not. I mean, I think they should have won the league, right? I think they should be going to win the league, but I'm not saying it was a foregone conclusion. Celtic's form towards the end of the season was great. Can't deny that. Anyway, let's see. Sutton twisting it into Boyd one last time.
There's no structure to anything that's getting done.
So it's okay saying that. What do you think should happen next?
I don't know. I'm not in there.
Well, that's what you're sort of
I
paid to give an opinion about.
Kris Boyd claims that Philip Clement has got more control at Rangers than Rodgers does at Celtic. Sutton got a wee bit confused, but what I think Boyd meant is that Clement has more control, as in signings, than Rodgers. Is that true?
Here, Clement may have more control, but not on the pitch. When it came to control in the game today, there was only one team in control. But is that true? I mean, possibly. Like, does Celtic not have more involvement overall when it comes to transfers? Would Clement not have more of a say than Rodgers? I believe Celtic have probably got a more sophisticated setup when it comes to scouting and finalising deals and listing targets.
But what I would say with that is, it's how many targets have Rangers actually got that they wanted? I feel like Rodgers has got most of what he wanted, apart from the Polish guy for LAFC. I mean, again, that doesn't necessarily mean you're in more control, but control's shite jobby. I don't care if the manager's in control of a lot more or a lot less. It's all about performances on the pitch. See the average fan. They don't give a fuck what happens behind the scenes. See, as long as your club's winning, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's something that Rangers aren't doing.
Yeah, no, that is something that Rangers aren't doing. Anyway, guys, That is it. There's a few more Boyd comments to dive into. We'll dive into that in a separate video. There's a lot. There's a big accusation rather regarding Rangers. Would any other players get into the Celtic team? We'll talk about that soon. But
Short discussion.
Short discussion, absolutely. Player ratings as well. Could be on the channel already. Could be later. Who knows? Till then, though. Peace.